time for a wrap up. Everything that I reviewed in January of 2026, what to buy and what you can leave in the store. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to go through a review of everything that I reviewed in January of 2026 and let you know what's worth picking up and what isn't. This is a review that I'm going to do every single month at the end of every month to give you an idea of what's worth it, what isn't, and compare the different things that I picked up. I already have new collections for February and you'll be seeing those very soon. So let's talk about the three major collections that launched. We have the Chanel Rouge Noir collection, we have the Dior Spring collection, and then we have really a couple of piecemeal things, but they're worth talking about. Gucci blushes, Gucci lipsticks, new shades, Westman contour sticks, Dior bronzers, and two different types of foundation. So if I were to compare the Chanel Rouge Noir and the Dior Spring Summer, I can tell you right now, it's a very clear winner, the Chanel. The oversized palette is a beautiful palette. It is very cool toned. It's very Rouge Noir. I have a mixture of these three shades on my cheeks, and then I have the highlighter on as a highlighter. It is a beautiful formula. It works really well. I love the shades. The Rouge Noir, I think, came off perfectly. It strikes the right balance between the Rouge Noir Vamp nail polish color that was so iconic, is so iconic, and it's not too red for using on your eyes. I have the Rouge Noir liner on today, and I have the two single shadows. I have Gris Rose and Brune Rose, but I have mostly Brune Rose on my eyes, and then I have the Dior on top of it. I'll show you which shade. But in comparison, the Dior collection that came out just was pretty lacking. It's a pretty color story, but it's kind of boring. It's the typical pinks and mint greens of spring, which I don't have a problem with if they had done it a little bit better. I feel like, to be honest, the payoff is so slight that even somebody like me who is very pale doesn't see a lot of color payoff. The mint palette, I think, actually will look better on somebody with a deeper skin tone. I think on me it kind of disappeared. I wasn't particularly impressed with the shades. I think they are nice, but you know, I wasn't blown away by any of them. Again, I think on a deeper skin tone, I think you're going to see more contrast and I think it'll be more interesting. But either way, whether you like the color payoff or not, what you have to admit is that this is a very pastel-y kind of collection, and to be honest, that's not my thing. In regards to formula, the formula in the Dior is not as good as some of the ones that have more of a creamy, long-lasting, forgiving formula, but it's not, it doesn't accentuate lines. I don't think it's bad for more mature skin, but I don't think it's favorable to more mature skin. So if you're somebody who has like a little bit more of a fussy eye, I don't think these make it worse, but I certainly don't think they make it better. The Chanel singles, on the other hand, absolutely do smooth out the eye. They're very creamy. They have a beautiful luminosity to them, but they're not shimmery and they last. So I would definitely go with the Chanel singles over the eye quads. The Dior also had a blush, which was at the time named, at least mine is named, Candy Floss. And the thing about the Candy Floss is that it has sparkle to it. It's actually a pretty color. It's kind of like a peachy beige. It's fine. I'd love to be able to say like, but it's just fine. It's not great. It's not terrible. But the sparkle in it, I just don't think that's for everybody. And I think especially if you have more mature skin, you tend to want to stay away from sparkle. Not everyone does, but I'm just giving you in a broad sense. The Chanel didn't necessarily have a blush, but they had the blush palette, which again, I've used all three shades, and then the fourth shade is a highlighter. The formula is much more forgiving. It's a really good formula. I think they tweaked it a little bit from the ones that they've had before because it's a little bit creamier. There is still dust off the palette when you use a brush, so you definitely get some fallout, but not a lot. And I think it is a much better value as well because you've got the four shades in the palette. So overwhelmingly, the Chanel collection wins over the Dior. I do have all of the Rouge Noir lipsticks that came, the lac and the matte lipstick and all that good stuff. What I did today is I used the lac, which is a long-lasting cream lipstick that is in the Rouge Noir, and I used this as like a liner for my lips. And then I will show you the lipstick that I put on over it. But this really works very well in a limited way. If you're not looking for something that is this deep all over your lips, you can use it as an outline. You can even use it to mix it with something. And I think it's very well done because it has enough of that purple pink so that it doesn't look harsh, even on people who have a pale skin tone. And then of course on a deeper skin tone, fantastic. To continue with the blush line, the Gucci blushes are phenomenal. I've done videos on these and they are some of the best blushes that I have used. If I hadn't been using the Chanel palette today, I would have used one of these. So I have the Plum and I have Arctic Rose. I've done, many videos comparing them and different shades. These are luminous, they are forgiving, they are long lasting, they are easy to apply, they are easy to build. I have nothing bad to say about them. There are 6 shades, I believe. I will pick up other shades when they go on sale. It's just a matter of, I have a lot of blush and certainly not something I need, but I would definitely buy more. There's actually 2 shades that I'm very, very interested in picking up. I can't see that anyone would dislike the blushes, but I would say the shades are brighter, pinker, purplier. I haven't tried the other shades yet, so I don't know if there's a neutral shade if you're looking for that type of blush, but the luminosity to these is beautiful. If you are looking for a matte blush, then no, they are not for you. But that's really the only downside that I can see there when it comes to the blush. That's pretty much it. Contours and bronzers. I did a detailed video of contours and bronzers and comparing them across the board to the new Dior's. And what I have to say is the new Dior's are, in my opinion, the best bronzer stick that I have seen. Now, I've seen some people who really don't like these, and I'm not sure what it is about these that they don't like, but I love them. They are really easy to use. They're very smooth. They're easy to apply. They have a great finish. I feel like they are very easy to blend. This particular color is number 3, which is a little bit deeper, but I wanted to show you, you just literally, it blends right into the skin. It melts right into the skin. I think maybe there's an issue with there's not enough deep shades. That tends to be a problem across the board with many brands. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was a problem, but in regards to formula, this is, again, I'll say it, the best bronzer stick I've seen. It's incredibly smooth. It has excellent skincare. It's hydrating, but it lasts on your skin. It has a grip. I just really love this formula. The Westman Atelier contour sticks that came out, again, same old formula as Biscuit that I've had forever, but there's one that's lighter, which is Olay, which I have on today as my contour. And then they have Cocoa, Toast, and many other shades that, again, I included in that video, but I have Toast on as well. And it works extremely well in a limited sense as like more of a bronzer, blush contour kind of thing because it has that redness to it. But the formula is still the same old formula from Westman. It's an excellent formula. It has more grip to it. It is longer lasting even than the Dior because of the clay that's in it. I don't have the problem with the contour sticks that I have with the lip. The lip has clay in it and it bothers my lips, but I think my lips are just excessively dry on my skin. Absolutely no problem, and they look beautiful. So, I've done, again, detailed videos of the shades so you can figure out what shade you are, but I can use Olay, Biscuit, Toast, and Cocoa. Cocoa being the deepest. It's more difficult for me to use, but again, I can still blend it out because the Westman formulas are easy to blend. If you are somebody who has dry skin, I think you can still do it with the clay in it because I have dry skin. If your skin is excessively dry, then yes, I think there's some alternatives and you can visit that video for some of my suggestions. Lips. There were a number of products that I tried this month that I really liked. The Gucci lipsticks, these are the sheer ones. These come in matte sheer, satin, and something else that I can't think of right now. Glow and Care, it's Glow and something or Glow. It's the one that's my favorite, but I always forget the name. I think it's like Glow and Care. But anyway, the 3 shades that I picked up, the new shades, Marie Almond, Chestnut, Clara Chestnut, and Lilitani. And I have Clara Chestnut on with the Rouge Noir as sort of that liner, and it's a great combination. These lipsticks are the sheer ones. The Marie Almond is in my purse because it's sort of my everyday shade. I love the new shades. They are very pinky beige, and anybody who likes the same kind of color stories that I do, you're gonna like those new 3 shades. Dior came up with new maximizers and new lip oils. They have different finishes. They have the shimmery finishes, they have the glaze finishes. What I would tell you is that if you want more color, if you want more impact, the glaze are the way to go. This one is my favorite. It's latte. It's, you know, like I said, it's a thicker, more pigmented version of their lip oil. It's a beautiful shade. I would say that, as I said in my review, if you're interested in these lip oils because you love the Dior lip oils, I think the only one that's worth the money really is the thicker glaze ones, because the other ones are really pretty and they have like this, you know, shimmery finish, but they're very similar to the ones that came out before. You probably already have the shades or something similar to it in either the Dior lip oils that came before or a cheaper version. This is the shimmery shade, and you know, although very pretty, and this is in mocha, so you know, I have latte and mocha. I don't even drink coffee, but anyway, I like the shades. So, you know, it's a very pretty finish and it has this lovely shimmer to it, but it doesn't really show up. And honestly, I think you can get the same kind of finish in a much cheaper lip oil. I do love the Dior lip oils. I love the very large doe foot. I think the formula is excellent. I don't think it's too sticky. It's not too thin, all those things, but it is very expensive for a lip oil. There's others out in the market that are half the price and I think are going to give you a similar finish. So unless your lips are exceedingly dry or you're like me and you just love a very bougie, very expensive lip oil, sheer lip that disappears on you and you want to spend the money, you know, I think the glaze ones are the only ones that are really worth your time and effort. The perfume that came out from Dior, these are actually okay. This is the violet one. There's a peach and then there's a rose. I like the peach one, and if it was on sale, I would buy it. The rose one, I don't want to say hated, but it's close. I had a negative reaction when I sprayed it. I did not like it, and I don't like the scent. They are very simple, very young scents. I think they're made for someone who's looking for a simpler, less sophisticated scent, which is not, you know, a bad or good thing. A lot of times you want something just simple and easy. You don't necessarily want something with 17 layers. I totally get that, especially in the spring and summer months. So I think this is a great fit for that. In fact, this would be something I would wear in the summer. I tend not to wear fragrance in the summer. That I would wear. It's a very simple scent. It's a very basic scent, but it's very nice. It's very light and it's fruity and it smells good. So if you're interested, I would absolutely try them first and find one that's nice for you. But I would wait for a sale. Again, they're simple scents, and they would be a lot cheaper if they didn't have the Dior name on it. I only tried one mascara this month, and this is the Saint Laurent Latex Mascara. I actually did a comparison video where I did the latex versus the Lash Clash. I like the Lash Clash more. I think it's a more volumizing, thickening mascara, but this one is really very nice. If you're looking for something that's really a lengthening mascara, I think it's going to give you that. I think it gets at every lash. I think it's a good mascara. It has this strange formula that when it comes out of the tube, it sounds and looks very wet. But then you put it on your eyelashes and it's actually relatively dry. So again, not my favorite formula. I think it does definitely lengthen. I did a detailed video on it so you can see, but it's not, I'm glad I have it, but it's not my favorite. And I would pick the Lash Clash over this.
Totally forgot to mention two products. The RMS Eye Brightener, which I think is a fantastic product. Everyone can use this to brighten up your under eye area. And the Chanel Concealer. I think the Chanel Concealer is excellent. I've been using it quite often. I feel like it's got good coverage and sinks in well, does not dry out my under eyes.
Last but not least, the foundations. So the new Armani Foundation is neither luminous or improved. I'm not sure what the purpose, well, I do know what the purpose was. I understand what they took out of it and I understand why. But I would say I don't think the new formula is better, and I don't think it's as good. So, and the colors are odd because I was a 4.75. The 5 is actually lighter than the 4.75, and it's actually not even the right shade for me. I mean, there isn't really a right shade for me. So if you have drier skin, I think maybe you'll dislike it. And if you have oilier skin, I think you might like it a little bit more. I mean, it's still considered a luminous product, so I don't know who's gonna like it. To me, it's not luminous, and to me, it's a little cakey, and I didn't particularly like it. But again, it will depend on your skin type, and it will depend on your age. Anyone who tells you that it doesn't matter if you're 30 or 50 when it comes to foundation is lying to you. It does make a difference. The age of your skin absolutely makes a difference, even if you take excellent care of your skin. I do my best to take as good a care of my skin as I can. My skin is different than when I was 30. It was different when I was 20. And so this formula, the new version of it, is not as age-friendly as the old one. I'm not saying that it's, you know, I think it actually is. I think it actually does make my skin look older. I don't particularly like it. So I'll keep using it. And again, you know, opinions sometimes change. If in the summer it changes because it's more humid, it's very dry right now. So that could be it. The Hermes Foundation, which I have on now. I did something different with it today. I put on a product that I don't particularly like, which is the Chanel Balm, B-A-U-M-E. And this is one that came with the Rouge Noir. This is Candy, I think is the name of it. Is it Candy? No, Cute. I'm sorry. Cute. I assume for Valentine's Day. I don't know. But I put it, you can see me doing it, but I put it here and I put it here. And then I sort of pounced it in a little bit. And then I used the Hermes foundation over it. And actually, it looks quite good. So what I have discovered with the Hermes foundation is that it does, at least for me, need a primer that sets up almost a layer, a silk veil of some kind. And then when I put the foundation over that, it looks phenomenally good. I still feel like you have to exfoliate and make sure your skin is prepped for this foundation. Your skin should be prepped for any foundation because, to be clear, anytime you see someone who, you know, you look at their foundation, their skin, you're like, how does it look so smooth? How does it look so good? There are two things. One, it's filtered. Somebody filtered it, whether it's a photograph or whatever, because everybody's skin has stuff. There's dents and there's lines, that everyone. But the second thing is there's some type of prep that goes into making the skin look as seamless as possible. There are moisturizers and plumpers and, you know, primers and all kinds of things that smooth out the skin and to make it as perfect as possible. And then a foundation goes over it, or a tinted moisturizer, or whatever it happens to be. So it is always key to do your skin prep if you want that as much perfected look as you can get. The Hermes foundation just happens to be a little more fussy than other foundations. I think there are many foundations that are more like tinted moisturizers where you honestly, like the Victoria Beckham, you can get away with not really prepping your skin as much. You still should do it, not encouraging not to, but there's more leeway. This foundation, it needs something underneath. It needs this silky veil, sort of, you know, primer. It needs this underneath it. And then when you put it on, it looks pretty seamless, guys. I have to say, like, it looks phenomenally good, even in the 10X mirror. And I would suggest to you that you do not depend on your 10X mirror to decide how you look, because nobody can see you that well. No one. Especially if you're my age. I promise you, you look fuzzy to everyone. So you look fine. But in a 10X mirror, it's good to see, you know, the little imperfections that you want to fix when you're doing your makeup. But especially if you're trying to draw like a very tight line. But in the 10X mirror, the Hermes looks perfect. And that is hard to achieve. So I will say, once it's applied correctly, it is an amazing formula and it does look phenomenally good and it does last a really long time. But you just have to be one of those people who's willing to put in the effort to make it look that way. If you're more of a I get ready in 5 minutes person, I don't recommend it for you. I mean, that's the honesty that you come here for. That is everything wrapped up as quickly as possible in this wrap-up video. I'd say overall, go with the Chanel collection. I think it's excellent. I really don't have anything in that collection that I disliked. If you don't like the colors, then you don't like the colors, but the formulas and the curation of it, I think, was excellent. The denim collection, you will see that very soon here on my channel. And I don't want to give too much. I am impressed with what Chanel has been doing, at least so far. It's only been a month into 2026. Dior, I still have concerns. I'm not sure exactly what direction they're going in, but they have some great hits with their, bronzer stick, which is like the best one I've ever seen. And then they had their spring summer collection, which I'm still not sure what it is. Gucci has very much surprised me with their blushes. They're phenomenally good. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit all over the place this month, which I guess is to be expected. So we'll have more soon in the new releases in February, and I'll be doing more comparisons. I'd love to hear from all of you what you'd like to see in this upcoming month. What collections are you most excited for? Obviously, the Chanel denim, as I mentioned, is coming. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in another video really soon.